previous lesson you studied that cells are the fundamental unit of life. But you also studied that cells are very small, 10 to 100 microns. But the living organisms you see around your cells are not that small. Most of the living organisms are quite big. This means that most living organisms are made of many cells, except some bacteria and amoeba-like organisms. These are unicellular, they are made of only one cell. But other than these two groups, all other organisms, fungi, plants and animals are multicellular. In multicellular organisms, cells are in group and the work is divided among these groups, or there is division of labor. Not only this, based on what functions they perform, these groups of cells have unique structures, shape, size, arrangement, etc. This is known as differentiation and specialization. That is, developing special characters so that they can perform their special function. In this lesson, we'll try to find out about what are tissues, levels of organization, division of labor, are plants and animals made of same types of tissue, and what are these different types of tissues. Before we proceed, these are a few basic points we need to revise. First, few definitions. What are tissues? What is histology? And now, the levels of organization. Let's try to answer this question. Are plants and animals made of similar tissues? For this, we must first discuss, are plants and animals biologically similar? Do they have similar structures? And do they perform similar processes? Let's compare. Plants are stationary or fixed at a point. They cannot move from one place to another. Animals, on the other hand, move in search of food and shelter. What does this mean? This means that animals need more energy. Plants, on the other hand, can manage with lesser energy, but they need a strong supportive tissue to stand erect. So they have lots of dead tissue which has become hard. Its only function is to provide support to plant. Next, while plants continue to grow throughout life, in animals growth stops after some time. Also, in plants, growth occurs in only specific regions. This means that a leaf or a branch cannot come out from anywhere. It will come out only from a node. You've seen swollen parts at base of leaf. This indicates node. In animals, growth occurs uniformly. Imagine if we grew like plants, if only the knees grew. But that doesn't happen. When the body grows, every part grows in coordination. Finally, compared to animals, plants have a simpler body organization. Let's start with plant tissues. These are the various types of tissues found in plants. Let's start with an activity. Have you seen these roots coming out of onion when it is left for some days? Check in your kitchen. Now pick 2 onions without the roots and keep them like this on 2 containers full of water. It should be placed in such a way that the bottom of onion is in touch with water. After around 2-3 days, you'll see the roots coming out. Now just remove the onion from jar 2, trim the tips of roots and replace the onion back in the jar. Leave and observe after a few days. You'll see that the roots in jar 1 has grown but not in jar 2. What could be the reason? Think and let me know. That growth of plants occurs in specific regions and that growth occurs throughout life. This means that in plants, tissues responsible for growth occur only in specific regions, and 2, the cells of these tissues are active, that is, keep on dividing throughout life. and these tissues are known as meristematic tissues. The cells of this tissue divide and the plant grows. So meristematic tissues, or simply the meristems, are the dividing tissue of plant. Since growth occurs at specific location, this means that meristems are present only at specific locations in the plant. So on the basis of location, meristems are divided into three types. The apical meristem, present at the tip of root and shoot, is responsible for apical growth or increase in the length of plant. The intercalary meristem, present at nodes, responsible for branching and leaf formation, and the lateral meristem, present along the sides and is responsible for increase in girth or thickness of stem and root. So now you understand why by removing the onion root tip in the second jar stopped its growth. It's because the tip had apical meristem, which is responsible for growth. So removing apical meristem means no growth. So these are the characteristics of cells of meristematic tissue. Before we stop, here are a few questions. You practice writing answers for these questions. Take care. Bye-bye.